Previously on Fly with a Guy. Well, this is my first trip of 2021. Okay, the army is off the plane, so I can actually talk to you now. The air conditioning was not air conditioning like it was supposed to be air conditioning. So I got a pizza burger.
I don't remember if you had one or not.
I had one and I broke it. So y'all in the comments, and then the next time I go to work, which is tomorrow.
I've been trying to make my wallet fold all day. Cashing in my dreams, big payout. Underneath my money tree, big shade out. Now these
Hey you all, I think this is going to be the start of another video. So if you're new here, I'm Brandon. I'm a guy who flies, Miami-based flight attendant. I just finished a trip at like 7 a.m. this morning. I start another trip tomorrow, so this will be the introduction to that next trip. As I came home to a package, and it was an order of all of clothing and swimwear for this upcoming trip that I have. So I'm about to go ahead and bust open those pieces, try them on. Let's see, today is Saturday the 15th. We leave for the trip on Thursday the 20th. So I have a couple of days, but I'm about to work a 2-day trip, so I'm trying to do some of this stuff in advance. Typically, before I go out on a trip, I just lay my larger suitcase on the ground and just start throwing stuff in it like the whole week leading up to the trip, so that when I get ready to pack, most of the stuff is like already in there. And my work bag is already packed for this trip starting tomorrow. It's just a 2-day trip, 1 layover, so I'm just using my turn bag. Uniform is already ironed, hanging up, ready to go. In addition to that, I'm gonna sit down, I'm gonna film my Bear With Me video, and I will go ahead and edit that one and start editing a video that's gonna come out while I'm on vacation, because I don't wanna do no work. So we're gonna have stuff already edited, posted, and scheduled to be released. Okay, productive Brandon, back in full force. Good morning, you all. So, things to not do. Sit up till 12:31 a.m. when your alarm clock is going off at 3:30 a.m. This is why night owls hate morning reports. You can't get the best of both. You can't get the best of both worlds. But it seems like the group chat is up, so I'm not the only person with an early morning report. And today we're starting a 2-day trip. We are working, what is it called? 3 flights today. We're going to start with a Cleveland turn, and then we'll go up to Philly, where we should be done around 5 o'clock today. We'll be in Philly tonight. And I think that right now I'm going to slam click on this trip. So it is currently 13 degrees in Philadelphia, and tonight, oh, they're expecting snow today. It'll be 47. Yeah, I'm definitely slam clicking, so I'm not even going to take my big coat. All right, let's go to work. So I have made it to the airport. Guess who I'm working with on this trip? Tracy. I didn't mention that today is actually the start of my first week of vacation. So I have vacation from the 16th to the 22nd. But like I told you all a long time ago, we can pick up on top of our vacation days and get paid for both the trip and the vacation. So this was a 15-hour 2-day, and with the vacation credit, it is now a 21-hour 2-day trip. So we're here. There's a snowstorm that's like right over the south right now, and I don't think it's affecting any of our flights. This would have been the day that we needed Atlanta. If we were going to Atlanta, I don't know if it would happen. Nonetheless, that's that. A lot has happened in the past couple of days. Shout out to all of the sororities who just had founding days passed. The Delta is on the 13th, AK is on the 15th, the Zeta's today, so everybody's having a Founders Day. All y'all getting older. We're on our way downstairs to, well, we're already downstairs, but we're on our way to Starbucks because my stomach is in the pit of hell right now, and I need some stuff. Oh my God, they're not even open yet. Look at this. As I mentioned, we're working those 3 flights today up to Cleveland around that snowstorm, so it's probably increasing the flight time, and then back down to Miami, and then we'll go on to Philly. I picked up this trip on vacation, so the position that I picked up was working in the cabin in the back. However, Tracy was working in the cabin in the front, and so she and I are switching because I prefer to work in the front and she prefers to work in the back. Ain't that right?
That's right, friend.
So we are switching positions. I need to try to scarf down some of the breakfast that I picked up this morning before we start boarding. We don't have a full flight, so it should be super easy, you know. Everyone's gonna be asleep. Window shades are down. When the sunrise comes up, it's still gonna be dark in the cabin, so it's a whole mood. Made it to Cleveland. It is freezing cold on the ship bridge right now. Walking into the terminal to use the big people restroom and maybe grab some food or something. Back in Miami, y'all, there's so much weather because of this storm that's like over the south right now. We were in a holding pattern for almost an hour, which, if you're new to this thing, holding is basically a process by which you get to the airport or you get to some point en route and they basically put you in this circular pattern. So you stay at the same altitude and just keep going around in circles. In this case, there was thunderstorms here in Miami, so they had the airport closed for arrival. So we just had to wait in the air until they said we can land. So we're supposed to have an hour and a half sit, but because of that circling for sheesh, it had to be over 45 minutes of us holding. That ate into our sit. We're still waiting for the cleaners to get done, and then we'll start boarding up our last flight to Philly. While I'm waiting, I'll show you all what I have left. This is actually leftover meal prep from my last trip. So this is a steak burrito bowl over rice. I have a salad that I'll be eating in this next flight. Some pineapples, guac goes with the burrito bowl, and some Uncrustables. Of course, last room in the hall. Alright, so we have made it to Philly. Did a quick little disinfect, room check the water temperature, everything is set. I know the heat works because I can feel it right now. Today was a day. It started out okay. We worked the turn up to Cleveland. Then we came back down. However, on our way back down, there was a storm in Miami. I told y'all this. The thunderstorms we was holding. Then we got everybody boarded up to come up to Philly. We were able to board everyone quickly, and we managed to close the door early. Got all the way to the runway, and we had to do a gate return to get the crew members that were actually taking that same plane back from Philly to Miami. They were deadheading on our flight, so we had to go all the way back, and that took more time. It just took a lot, and then it was not the easiest crowd of passengers, but we finally took off, and eventually we came here. There's a whole snowstorm in Philly. That was just a whole thing, trying to get here and get into the airport. And passengers, some of them were super, appreciative, and they give you the compliments, like, you all did so well, all things considered. I don't know how y'all put up with that. Y'all don't make enough to deal with people. All kinds of things like that. So it helped a little bit to justify like what you went through, that okay, I'm not crazy, because clearly this is just a lot. Because it's snowing so much, one of the crew members, she went to the food court and got food, but we stood out there waiting for almost an hour for the hotel shuttle to come pick us up. Her bag ripped, the food hit the floor, just whatever. So in the van on the way here, I made a huge order of Chinese for the whole crew. So we're gonna have Chinese delivered, hopefully. We've been reduced down to 10 hours and 43 minutes, but it took us an hour to get here waiting on the van. So we're now under 10 hours of rest. So I have a 4:30 wake up call. It's now 8 o'clock. I don't even know if that plane's gonna be able to leave here. We'll let future Brandon figure that out, because present Brandon is gonna take a shower, hope and pray that this food comes so that he can eat and go to sleep. Good morning, you all. So it is day 2, go home day of our 2-day trip. I'm with the crew. And we are working 2 flights today. We are going from Philly to Punta Cana, and then from Punta Cana we are going home to Miami. So just 2 flights, but I think it's like a 10-hour duty day. So I can't say I slept really well, so I am well rested, even though we had a very, very short layover last night. But the rest of my vacation is vacation, because this is my last day working this week. I'm not coming back to work till next week, so that will be that. Let's fly. My checks are done. We're just waiting to board our passengers down to Punta Cana. I did want to show you all the little goodie bag I got. Not on this trip, but on my last trip.
I got 6 bags.
So it's like a little care package with some like Burt's Bees, emergency. There's some hand sanitizer, some chocolate, and some hot cocoa mix in here. So really, really thoughtful. You know,
need a bucket?
flight attendants love treats. We appreciate it. All right, you all. So 1 flight down.
No.
1 more to go.
Oh.
It was long and it was easy.
I was like, I know. Like, you watching this whole vlog on like that. I have.
But no, nothing to report, you all. So let's go home day. Let's go see what it's like outside. It's a jet bridge. I thought we were gonna be on the ramp. The air stairs. It does not feel like Philly out here. Watch this. It's about to fog up, so you know it's real. Our captain went and got everybody pizza. I went and got me some jalapeno Cheetos. So we're about to have a little pizza party before we start boarding. Okay, y'all, we are back in Miami, over and done. Wow, I've never been so happy to see a trip be over. And it was just a 2-day. So our 15-hour 2-day became a 17-hour 2-day, but it was on top of my vacation, so it's a 23-hour 2-day. So the pay looks nice. The experience, not so much. But the last flight was full. I think Bridget had a story time called Boarding Brawl on her channel, Jet Setter. And low-key, this was about to be a situation like that. Wait a minute now, because I'm in here roasting like the Thanksgiving turkey. Let's get some air going. Okay, we're boarding. Overhead bin space is at a premium, so it's filling up. This is common. However, at our airline, it's not practice to just say, okay, from here on out, we're gonna check everybody's bags, because some people have paid to carry their bags on. So what we do, we make space. You know, we have to pull down people's personal items, those little backpacks that belong to the 7-year-old that could easily go under the seat in front of them. Yeah, put that on down there for me, because we gotta save this space for the larger bags. Towards the end of boarding, couple comes on, they're seated in row like 8 or something. The bin space is full. This gentleman proceeds to go forward to some of the bins that have already been closed above row 2. So the lead is like, sir, I need you to go put your bin further back, the closest open bin. So I'm standing back there, it's somewhere around 12 or 13 at the time, and I'm, you know, shuffling bags and things. I'm like, oh look, here's a space right here above row 11. He was in 8. Here's some space above row 11. I said, you can put your bag back here. He told me no. He's like standing above his seat, completely full, both sides, like he's about to pull other people's bags down, and I'm just like, no. I said, sir, your bag has to go back here or we can check it. He says, no, I'm gonna put it up there. Cool. He goes back up front where she's already told him no. I've told him no, and he proceeds to say he's gonna put his bag up there. She looked at me, I looked at her, I said this, she said, which meant she was reading what I was putting out there. He proceeded to put his bag up there, close the bin, and go sit down in the seat. The bag came down, because the bag is getting checked at this point. Once that happened, he proceeds to go up there and get very confrontational with her, so much so that the pilots had to get involved, and he was about to argue with the pilot. Meanwhile, boarding is still continuing, and at this point, the space that I was trying to hold for him to be nice, that was in row 11, is now full, and 12, and 13, because other people put bags up. And at this point, I'm just like, So then he was mad about that or whatever. But the kicker was the last group of people that came on, this is party of 3, And they walk to that row and they're like, this is our seat. And they're looking at them like, and they're like, you need to move. And he was like, you can wait. And this girl was about to pop off on him. I had to scurry to the front. I mean, at this point, I think I was closing bins at like 20 or something. I could see the elevation. I could feel the energy. Read the room, read the plane, read the fuselage. I could see the energy. And I was like, yeah, let me go over here and handle this real quick. So we had to shut that down. They was in the wrong seat. So I'm like, here y'all are loud and wrong and just, ooh. But nonetheless, that was that. Flight was cool. It was easy. As they were deplaning, I had a front row seat to see this man walk out past the lead flight attendant, pull down his mask, scrunch up his face, and poke out his tongue at her. That's the first that I've seen a grown man do that to another adult. But yeah, that was that, and the trip is over. This was my vacation, so I'm gonna be on the rest of my vacation for this week. Today is Monday. My birthday is Wednesday. We leave for Cancun on Thursday through Sunday, so I'm off. I don't go back to work again until like Monday, the Monday that come after this Monday. And so I'm about to ride out now to go check out an apartment that I might be moving to, and that's it. This was a long little ending to the vlog, but I had to get that little piece of story out there because that was one for the book. This is going to be a whole fight at boarding, and we don't have time for that. Now I don't go home day, but nonetheless, I'm Brandon. I'm a guy who flies, and I will see you all the next time.
It goes by.